Before getting started with the next section of pods, we need to run few commands to configure the K3D environment. So we'll go to terminal and let me increase the size. And the first command that we need to run to configure K3D is to create the cluster. So run this command and it creates the cluster, my cluster. You can see it installs all the containers that are required for the K8s environment. So it installs the server load balancer, server tools, it configures the DNS, so it created the cluster. So that's one, and now we need to check whether everything is running properly. So get pods -a, and you can see these containers are getting created, and we can run it again to see it's still in the creation phase. It takes around 1 minute for the cluster to get configured properly, and just keep on running get pods -a. See, some changed into the running state, and once every container is in completed or running state, we can know now all the containers are in the running or the completed phase status, so we can be sure that the K8 server is configured properly. So that's one. Next thing, get back to the pods. So the K8 server and the client piece is configured properly now. So what are pods? So pods are almost similar to the containers, but pods can contain multiple containers. That's the difference. The functionality of pods and containers are similar, but pods can contain multiple containers. Generally, the additional container or the sidecar or the init container are used for logging and initialization purpose. Example is a Fluentbit container with the server container for logging. Conceptually, it serves the same purpose, and it is same. It is same and it serves the same function. Let's get to the meat of Kubernetes, how to create one pod. So here is an example of converting Docker command to the pods.yaml file. So this is a sample command, Docker command on how to start an nginx container. So we'll be replicating the same in kubernetes.yaml file or the pods.yaml file. So unlike Docker commands, you are not supposed to by heart the template of Kubernetes file. If you by heart it, you are supposed to make mistakes. So what you are supposed to do is you need to search for K8s pods.yaml file, and it gives you the base template, and you're supposed to make modification on the base template instead of by hearting yourself and making mistakes. When you're copying, all you need to look for is the specific sections of the template file, like the kind, what is a container name, what is the image that we are going to provide. So we'll be copying it. You need to copy it, and we'll come to the terminal. So we'll start by creating a folder K8syt and cd K8syt. Okay, so K8syt. Okay. Okay, I should be running it and fine. So we'll go to the pods.yaml file. We create a pods.yaml file, and we will paste the content of the YAML file. Let's get to the Notion. So here we are trying to pull the nginx latest image. So we'll change the image to latest we'll pull the latest image, and then we'll expose the port 80, similar to the docker command, and that's it. We have to look for the kind is pod, so that makes sense, and we are providing the name nginx. So we'll save this file and ls, and we have this pods.yaml file. So how do you create the pod? So whenever you have a YAML file, the command is same in Kubernetes. So it is kubectl apply -f pods.yaml file. So you do that and the pods get created. So let's check whether the pod is created or not. Get pods, and you can see the nginx is running. Now let's try to ping the nginx server. So localhost 80, bang, you are unable to connect to the pod. Unlike in Docker, unless you provide a networking to the pod, you won't be able to connect it from the local host. So but we need to verify, right, whether it is running or not. So let's do one thing, kubectl get pods, and you can see nginx is running. So how do we check it? Similar to the docker exec command, we have the kube exec command. So kube exec ti, the name of the pod is nginx, and you have to run bash. You can see I got into the pod, the root pod. Okay, so ls, now I can run localhost 80. Now you can see it is serving the nginx web page. So that means nginx is running, everything is working fine, but we haven't connected the network to the pod yet to access it from outside networks. Exit. So we are outside of the pod. Now let's see how to delete the pod. So kubectl delete pod, and it is nginx. So you can see it deleted the nginx pod. And let me see, so what else is there? So further rates, you can read more about pods in this link. I'll share this HTML file or the PDF of this presentation later.